Streets of New Capenna has given us one of, if not the most powerful Naya commanders of all time. Rocco Cabaretti Caterer is a 3/1 elf druid for a red, a green, and a white. But when you cast it, you may pay any amount of X extra mana, so when Rocco enters the battlefield, you may tutor a creature with CMC X or less and put it onto the field. Rocco is easy to overlook, especially since Naya commanders don't have the strongest reputation, but this effect to tutor any creature directly onto the field when you cast Rocco is insane and opens the door to so much potential. Today we will showcase Rocco in a Naya combo build, looking to win as soon as Rocco hits the field. I do want to put a quick disclaimer that although I think Rocco is strong, I don't think he will have any direct impact on the CDH meta or be viable for that matter. But if you play high powered and optimized builds that isn't quite CDH, then you may want to consider this Naya combo build. Let me know in the comments below if you think Rocco stands a chance as Naya's strongest. To start this video off, we are jumping right into all the most powerful Naya combos that I think you should run when playing Rocco. Now Rocco only tutors for one creature to the field, so to make our job of winning easier, we are only playing 2 creature combos that can have multiple combinations. The first and arguably strongest of the combos is Tamir Sabertooth and Dockside Extortionist. Costing 2 green, Tamir Sabertooth lets us return a creature to hand for 2 mana. Dockside Extortionist makes us treasure tokens when it enters the field, depending on how many artifacts and enchantments our opponents control. So if you don't already know, if Dockside can make 5 treasures every time it enters, we can return it to hand, activating Tamir Sabertooth for 2 of those treasures, and then cast it for another 2 treasures, netting us 1 extra treasure and creating infinite mana. Now this combo is the strongest because we can then use that mana to return Rocco to hand and tutor out any specific combo to win the game. So while this combo doesn't outright win the game on its own, it allows us to be picky and choose whichever creatures we may need for the situation. However, this mana combo also works with the Meal of the Blessed and Dockside Extortionist, so both are worth running in the deck. Ashaya Soul of the Wild paired with Agrathan Elder, Ley Weaver, or Krosan Restorer is another way to create infinite mana, but you may need haste, so run it with that in mind. Next we have our combo killers. Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker is the first half of the combo that allows us to create infinite creatures with haste when paired with the likes of Zelius Conscripts, Felidar Guardian, Combat Celebrant, and so many more. I highly recommend you include several untap and bounce type creatures when running this combo, so you're more likely to draw into them and only need to worry about tutoring out Kiki Jiki. Another more expensive combat combo is the pairing of Old Gnawbone and Hellkite Charger. These 2 when on the field create infinite combat steps for you if you can pay that initial 7 mana the first time around. However, if you enjoy winning outside the realms of combat, we've got 2 more combos for you. Terror of the Peaks and Seki Season's Guide will create infinite damage when on the field together. This is another high CMC combo, but will gain the respect of your opponents if you can pull it off. First, you must have Terror of the Peaks on the field, and then bring out Seki. When Seki enters, you target all 8 damage to Seki. This in turn removes his 8 counters, kills him, and creates 8 1/1s. You then have 8 damage to throw around, but more importantly, you can sacrifice those 1/1s to bring Seki back from the graveyard. He enters again and you rinse and repeat, slowly pinging down the enemy. But for far less mana, you can run Heliod the Suncrown and Triskelion, Walking Ballista, or Spike Feeder. This again will allow you to loop infinite ping damage. One last combo you may want to consider running is Godo Bandit Warlord and Helm of the Host. You can use Rocco to tutor out Godo and then tutor out the Helm of the Host with Godo. You will need that extra mana to equip the Helm, but it wins you the game with a 1 creature tutor. The Helm of the Host combo also works with Combat Celebrant, giving that card more utility. Now what makes Rocco insanely strong is our ability to get his effect twice. Panharmonicon, Strionic Resonator, and Lithoform Engine will allow us to double up on Rocco's ETB trigger, getting us the 2 creatures we need to win the game. I consider Panharmonicon the strongest card in the deck and an absolute must-have. Now there are countless other combos you can include, like Infinite Creature Mana with Food Chain and Squee, or Staff of Domination and Sovala, but these are all slightly harder to pull off and not consistent since they require another non-creature component. You shouldn't ram the deck with as many combos as you can think of, but instead find ways to protect them. I believe the best way to play this deck is first by including spells that make your valuable creatures and commander uncounterable. Outsourced Shepherd may be a bit too expensive, but there are a ton of replacements like Vexing Shusher, Destiny Spinner, and Leyline of Life Force, just to name a few. Silence, Grand Abolisher, and Defense Grid also do the trick, ensuring your turn is truly your turn. And don't you worry about being a stacks player, because this really isn't that. Price of Glory is a completely fair card to play when you aren't running blue. Also be sure to include some of the many creature tutors that you have access to in these colors to give your commander some help in comboing off. Summoner's Pack, Defense of the Heart, and Tooth and Nail just win the game, while Eldamri's Call and Gamble are a bit slower. If you would like a complete deck list with this strategy in full effect, visit the TCG player link below. It has an even balance between combo pieces, protection, card draw, and ramp. Again, ramp is going to be a big key in this deck because we're going to need a lot of it to be able to cast and tutor out some of these creatures. Any purchases with that link help support the channel, so if you enjoyed Rocco and you want to pick it up, use the link below. Finally, let me know in the comment section below if you think Rocco is really Naya's strongest commander.